stuff on here in the front.
Sam, obviously, looking ahead at an A&M team, you guys have already played this season. I know they've had some injuries since then. What kind of stands out about how they look this time around versus, when you guys were preparing for them a month ago?
That's the $1 million question. I mean, we're fortunate we got them on an off week. That was that week I talked about this last press conference where we had 3 games in 1 week, so there was a vibe that we were playing. And also, Janai Barker was coming off, I believe, a concussion, so she was only limited. I think she only played limited minutes at 20. So they had some funk going on. They're kind of like us. It's funny how our seasons are very similar. Right now, they're missing India Rogers for the last 6 games. They're 1-5. They're in a little funk. But also when they had their starting 5, they're 16-3. So when you watch them on film, just like you watch us, you know the talent's there. You know what they're capable of. They have a lot of big time players. So you just got to prepare for a bunch of different scenarios and be ready for whoever steps up in March. And that's what we've done. We've done a great job these last 2 days trying to really dial in and put a great scout together, mix up some things that we didn't necessarily do the last time that we feel like we got time to put in, some more defenses, and let's see if we can't try to find a way and steal one here in March.
Robbie, you're in the front.
I want to talk about y'all's losing streak.
Thank you, Robbie. Thank you. I knew I loved you, man. I was like, come on, man, come on.
No, I mean, just after that game the other day, it just seemed like the players were just really relieved post-game and like the monkey got off their back. Have you sensed kind of a different pep in their step, or have they even, during that stretch, were they kind of keeping the same? Or, I mean, what's been your thoughts on how they reacted?
Yeah, I know y'all get tired of me saying that. It's a great question. Is just, again, we just been through a lot, man. I kind of reflected our season in whole when we talk about #1. It's been one special season with 21 wins, but it's also had a lot of situations that have occurred, just like Texas A&M, that has thrown off the work that goes behind the scene to keep this machine rolling. I'll never forget when I talked about that 5-game winning streak. It's funny how winning provides a momentum and the energy level where you just need some success. Are we having these conversations if we pull out that Ole Miss game? If we pull out that Kentucky game? The momentum and the storyline looks way different, but it is what it is. So to your point and question, for us to get one on senior night, most importantly for those seniors, I think I'm going to have a happy group because, as you can imagine, we were off yesterday. I haven't seen them yet, but I know anytime you win, everybody in the room feels good because I promise you this, we're working hard. My staff's doing an unbelievable job, staying up late at night, crushing it with film, and then my players are dialed in. They all came here for this vision, and we want to finish this off. And Chapter 1 was non-conference, Chapter 2 was conference, and now we're in Chapter 3. So we have an opportunity to write a new chapter here, and that's what I'm most excited about.
Ben here in the front.
Yeah, so during that stretch where you guys were struggling, I mean, in terms of the way you were talking to them in the locker room, either after games or during games, or just your approach as a coach, whether it's on the sidelines, rotations, all that stuff, did that change at all, or is it pretty much we're going to stay the course and wrap this out?
No, it's the same, man. That's all I know. I know those young women, again, that's all they know. It's always find it funny because everybody talks about, oh, Vegas has got y'all down, Vegas got this. Well, I know I live in Stark Vegas, and you know what? I got a locker room full of kids that believe. And again, it's funny about sports, man. It's not like we sign up to lose, right? We sign up to win. And to your point, the energy was good. We battled some sicknesses. Everybody was trying to find a way, including me. I never point fingers without pointing at myself because I'm the leader of this program. I was just really proud for what we did on senior night. Because here's the thing about senior night that y'all might not have a lens like I do. Missouri came out and shot the ball really well. I mean, you look at them in the SEC, and I said this earlier in the month, there's no bad teams. Yeah, you can get caught up in a record and play that, but even like the bottom half, they have All-Americans on their team. I've never seen a conference that has bottom half teams have All-Americans on their roster. Like, that's how much talent is in this league. So for us to maintain the course, but even get Missouri's best shot because they can shoot the ball. You saw my kids, what they were really about, their core, their demeanor. They stayed the course. They didn't panic, especially if you can imagine when you lose 5 straight, you don't win that first half. There could be like, here we go again. But my kids were like, nah, we're going to win this game. And that's what makes me feel really good about going in the SEC because their mind and most importantly, their heart's in the right spot.
Justin.
Obviously, this time of year, the cliche is that freshmen are no longer freshmen. Just curious, how has your trust evolved with Miracle, Jasmine, and Canero throughout the year, and then the importance of them maybe experiencing that win or go home feeling in Greenville before getting to
Yeah.
the big stage in March Madness.
Yeah, so for the first question, I think that's shown by the minutes I played them, right? To your point, freshmen, I actually did this at Christmas. I do this every year I've been somewhere. When you get to Christmas, because when you look at what the NCAA allows us currently right now to work these young women out in the summer access and the fall and non-conference, you put so many hours in, it's been magnified compared to when I was first starting college, that's why they're no longer freshmen at Christmas. To me, they're sophomores. They have plenty of training and tools. It's almost like if you go to college. If you take classes before fall of your freshman year, you can accelerate your degree where you're no longer a freshman, so kind of that same mindset. So that's where I'm proud of them. And then, like I said, I've been giving them minutes because they've earned it. And again, that first half where we're in foul trouble, they were huge. They came in big, and we're going to need them this week if we're going to, make a run there in Greenville, excuse me. And then the second question again.
Just them experiencing that win or go home scenario in the SEC tournament before, getting to March Madness and getting sort of that feel of what it takes and having to, play so many games in a certain time period.
Yeah, no, I think it was huge how it played out, because you find out a lot when your back's against the wall, and for them to step up like they did and just be relentless, just play. It made me feel really good about them, and then most importantly, their teammates. Their teammates were all over. They were saying, knock it down, Chaz. They were coming off the bench going, come on, Miracle. And then even Near, it was a funny game because there were 5 guards, so Near didn't necessarily get as many opportunities as she usually does. So I had to go with a smaller lineup, and her demeanor on the bench was everything. So to your question, I'm really happy where the freshmen are at, and I'm excited to see what they do this week.
Stephon and Raleigh.
We've seen Lauren, whether it be on the bench or, pregame, she's dancing when they're doing dribbling drills. When you look back on, the player you guys got in the portal and what she's provided this year off the court, in the locker room, I guess, how would you describe what she's added to the team?
Oh, yeah, a lot. Yeah, because like we say, in sports, man, we live this, right? I live this, but like I always say, I want to be more than a basketball coach. I would say, father figure. I wear multiple hats. I am a father. I'm a husband. I want to have joy in life. When we're not playing basketball, you want to enjoy this time we spend together and spend with each other. And that's who she is as a player. To your point, those great points that you pick out. She makes you laugh. She makes you relax. And then again, she just makes you believe you can conquer the world because of her height. Her height, she's undersized, but she's never out of the game. She's always in the game. And there's just a demeanor. I'm watching her grow. Again, I would have loved to have the opportunity to coach that young lady for 4 years, and it's hard when you make a move, and there's struggles for any transfer, but she's stayed the course. She's come here for this moment, and this moment's here. So I'm excited that when this moment has finally arrived, you can see 2 things for a player. And it's just like us in human life. You can talk about it all you want, but when the moment arises, do you seize the moment? It's talk, or are you going to walk the walk? Right now, I'm watching her walk the walk, so I'm really excited for her March opportunities.
Robbie.
Jess and Jerk are all SEC today, and they've kind of been sustained it all year long, especially Jerk. What's your thoughts on what they've been able to do in their senior year this year for the team?
Proud coach. Easily we could get in an argument, that they should be first team. But again, I always say some of those awards come down to team performance. Better your team plays, team performance provides individual opportunity and individual awards. So I look at it more of a big picture that this league is as talented as any league in the country. And it was 8 and 8, right? So they're one of the top, 2 of them are the top 16 players in the conference. That's how I look at this, is because this league's loaded. A lot of kids got left out. I forgot to look at that list, but I probably can name 5 or 6 that are our first team in any other conference that didn't even make the conference. So to have 2 from our team speaks volumes. I was looking at this right now. Sorry, I want to make sure I answer this correctly. One of 5 SEC schools with multiple all first or second team selection, again, just speaks volumes of who they are as people and players. And then nothing surprised me because I knew what I had on the front end, and for them to back it up this year and play at a high level and put us in position with 21 wins, it's a credit to both of those players.
Why do you think Jerk doesn't get as much recognition sometimes? It just seems like she kind of flies under the radar still, and she's been one of your leading scorers and leading rebounders and defensive players since you've been here.
Yeah, I just think, unfortunately, and I don't mean this mean, that's why I appreciate you all as media, is that's where we're still growing the women's game, right? You don't have as many people who put in the work like you all do to truly evaluate and give the justice it deserves from a media standpoint. And that's why I think that's a big part of it. And that's why I kind of said what I did last year, talk to me nice. I had a team all year that sometimes on the women's game, we get caught up in the same stories or the same programs, but what about those kids who deserve it? What about those programs that defy the odds? And I think that's what's been cool for my first 2 years here is we're that program. Yeah, Mississippi State got that recognition that you're talking about when they went to back-to-back Final Fours. But what about, you know, and then we had that little drop-off, but we're back, right? We're crushing records. We're having sellouts. We're doing different things. So let's make sure we get these young women the attention and flowers that they deserve. And that's why my job as a head coach, when given these platforms, I speak for their behalf and try to let people know and educate them. And that's what I plan on doing the rest of March.